Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, April 12th. Hope everyone had a great weekend. This is our last week in hybrid learning. Yay. Next week, we're going to be back to the most normal we've had in over a year. Okay, so today we're doing exponential functions, which is lesson 6.3 in the book. Our plan for this week is we're going to finish up chapter 6 today, or not today, this week, excuse me. And then that way, when we start hybrid, or I don't know what it's called actually, normal school on Monday, next Monday, it'll be chapter 7. So we're going to wrap everything up this week and then jump into a new unit on Monday. Homework due tonight is the pixel art and the 2 Google Forms. And don't forget, there is homework help available after school Monday through Thursday for all students in middle school and high school from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the high school library. Please, please, please come if you need help. Okay, so exponential functions is what this unit is over. You guys have heard of probably exponential functions before, or exponential growth, exponential decay. So here's what they look like. They're the ones that start like this and then curve, where we all year have been working with linear functions where it's a straight line. So now we're switching to exponential functions that are a curve. So they can look like this, or they can look, I'm going to draw another one, like this. It's a curve that goes through the coordinate plane. So why would we need to know exponential functions? Well, it's actually used surprisingly in a lot of real life things. So for science, for example, if you ever wanted to know how old the Earth was or how old a fossil is, they use exponential growth and decay to figure that out, for how long it's been decaying, to figure out how old something is. Or if you are putting money into a savings account, you're going to be using an exponential function to figure out the money earned. So this is what a linear function looks like. Y equals mx plus b. We've dealt with that since probably September. Now we're going into an exponential function, which looks like this. We still have the y, we still have the equal sign. This is where it changes. We have a new variable, times b to the x. So exponential because there's an exponent. Mind blown. Okay, so this is what we will be working with for the rest of this week, an exponent when we're graphing. Ready to jump into it. Here we go. Oh, this is just a little one that the notes had that I thought was pretty helpful. So here's the equation, y equals a times b to the x power. This is what it looks like if a is positive, and this is what it looks like if a is negative. All right, so graphing exponential functions. First, you're going to make a table of values. Next, you will plot the ordered pairs. And third, you will draw a smooth curve through the pairs of points. So your homework will have a equation, a graph, and then a table. So on the table, it is up to you to fill in 4 points and then graph it on the table. So I'm going to choose for this problem to use 0, 1, 2, and 3. So what does that mean? So that means in this equation, x, my exponent, I'm going to plug in these numbers to solve for y. So I'm going to do that in a different color so that we can see it a little easier. So I have y equals 4 times 2 to the 0 power, 4 times 2 to the first power, because I'm using my x value for x, 2 to the second power, and 3. Okay, now I'm going to go one step further and solve. 2 to the 0 power, anything to the 0 power is 1. So now I have 4 times 1, which is 4. Next, I have 4 times 2, which is 8. Next, I have 4 times 2 times 2 because it's 2 to the second power. So I'm going to do order of operations. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Lastly, I have 4 times 2 to the 3rd power means I'm going to have 3 2's, and 4 times 2 times 2 times 2 gives me 32. So my last point is 3 to the 32. So when I'm graphing this, my first point is 0, 4, because it's 4 is my A, and that's where it's going to be on the x-axis. Next, my second point is 1, 8. So over to 1, I don't have 8, so I'm just going to kind of pretend and put it there. And 2 to the 16th, so I know it's growing exponentially and it's going to go over and up. So when I draw my graph, I come in and connect my dots first with a curve, and then I kind of come down here and make it straight and put an arrow, because that's what exponential functions look like. All right. For my next one, I have a negative A. So I'm going to show you guys this. So I have -2, -1, and 0. So my point, or my first, I'm going to do 0 first. So -2 times 4 to the 0 power. Then -2 times 4 to the -1. Then -2 times 4 to the -2. So 4 to the 0 power equals 1. So I have -2 times 1, which gives me -2. Next, -2 times 4 to the -1. So I'm going to make it positive exponent, so 1/4. So -2 times 1/4 gives me a half, but negative. So -1/2. Then -2 times 4 to the -2, I'm going to make it a positive exponent. So 1/4 to the 2, or 4 times 4. And -2 times 1/8 gives me 1/4 negative. So now I have my points. -2, -1/4. -1, -1/2, and 0, -2. So my first one, 0, -2, there's my point. Oops, that's not on the line. Then I have -1 and -1/2. Then I have -2 and -1/4. And then I can also do a point for 1. So -2 times 4 to the 1, which would give me -2 times 4, which is -8. So 1, -8. And 1 and -8 would be down here. So I'm going to connect my dots, and they're curved. And then the bottom, the rest of it is a straight line. So there's my arrows. And there's my exponential function for -2 times 4 to the x power. All right, last example is with a fraction. So I have a fraction in the beginning, and then the rest of it is the same. So 1/2 times, oh, that's going to drive me nuts. I hate when that mouse has the shadow behind it. Hold on. 1/2 times 4 to the 0 power. Then 1/2 times 4 to the first power, and 1/2 times 4 to the second power. So I have anything to the 0 power is 1. Then I have 1/2 times 4, and 1/2 times 4 times 4. So 1/2 times 1 gives me 1/2, or 0.5. 1/2 times 4 gives me 2. And 1/2 times 4 is 2, and then 2 times 4 is 8. So I have my ordered pairs that I'm going to graph. So 0 and 1/2, 1, 2, and 2, 8. So that'll be like a little bit up here. So now I'm going to connect my points first. And then this bottom one is always pretty much a straight line with an arrow, and then up here would continue up with an arrow as well. So this is your homework assignment for today will be 3 problems on easel. So go to your Google Classroom, click into easel. We need you to fill out this table, and you get to pick the points. So I would try and pick points close to the number and smaller powers. You don't want to go like all the way up to 8 because your graph is a little bit smaller. So smaller numbers for your points, and then we also need you to draw the graph and connect the dots. We know it's hard to draw on a Chromebook with the mouse and holding it down and everything, so it doesn't have to be perfect. What we mostly care about as a teacher when correcting is that the points are in the right places. The line, not as important, that you can put the points in the right spot. So you have 3 problems for homework today, and then tomorrow we're going to learn another little part about exponential functions. So if you have questions, join your teacher's help session or wait till Friday from 7 to noon and join us and get the help you need. But we're going to do exponential growth and close out chapter 6 this week.